Hi, and welcome back. In this lecture, we will go over 5 customer journey characteristics to help us identify different types of customer journeys. The characteristics that we will cover are, for the first one, customer journey reliability, then the state of the customer journey itself, the actor perspective, the overall scope and scale of the journey, and finally, the customer journey focus. So let's first start with the reliability. Reliability checks whether the customer journey map is mainly based on assumptions or actual research. In general, research-based customer journey maps are more reliable than the assumption-based ones. However, the latter also holds its value, especially when the input comes from subject matter experts. In both cases, you should always check what the source is of the information. You don't want to build your offering based on superstitions. The next characteristic is the state of the customer journey. A customer journey map can visualize the current state of the experience, or it can be used to visualize the future state of the experience. Current state maps describe how someone experiences an existing service or physical digital product. Current state journey maps are mostly used to find gaps in existing experiences and identify opportunities to improve these services and physical digital products. Future state journey maps visualize the potential experience someone might have with not yet existing services or products. Future state journey maps help people to imagine, understand, and even experiment with the potential experience and context of use. They can help to select which aspects or specific steps should be prototyped and tested. I highly recommend to always map both states, as it gives a very clear message as to where the gaps lie and how you can improve them. Let's move on now to the main actor perspective characteristic. This characteristic accounts for whether the journey is made for external users or internal users. External users will most often be customers, but it can also be suppliers, government agencies, audit companies, etc. On the other hand, internal users is often referring to employees or departments or the company itself. Maybe you might wonder why a company is looking at increasing the user experience for their employees. Shouldn't companies fully be focused on increasing the experience of their customers instead of their employees? Well, both are linked. To put it very simply, happy employees make for happy customers. Making sure that the experience for your employees is optimized has a significant impact on the customer experience. I'm sure that you must have had a bad customer experience because of an unhappy employee that wasn't willing to help you. Providing employees with the right tools, a nice office space, a fair salary package, etc. will ensure that they themselves will serve the company's customers with the best possible experience. To give an example, I have worked at financial institutions that found the employee Net Promoter Score to be as important as the customer Net Promoter Score. If you don't know what a Net Promoter Score is, also known as NPS, it's basically a metric which measures satisfaction based on the customer's will to refer a company's products or services to others. So those financial institutions would invest heavily in tooling, training, HR, and so on, just to keep their employees satisfied and recruit high-performing individuals, because they knew that their employees are key to customer experience and could even be one of their unique selling propositions. Up next, we have the scope and scale characteristic, which defines the level of detail of journey maps. Essentially, it depends on 2 factors. First, the stage of the project, and second, the goals to be reached. For example, say that you made some research on the different steps of the customer journey and you want to match that research to the steps. In this case, you'd better go with a high-level view of your journey. Now, consider that you uncovered an important gap in the customer journey and that you want to communicate your idea on how to manage that gap. You'd better go here with a focused journey that just looks at the steps where the improvement would happen. Just think of it as a movie. Some scenes might be covering multiple years of the main actor's life, while other scenes just cover a 2-minute conversation between the main actor and somebody else. This illustrates that the 2-minute conversation is important enough to be zoomed in on. The more you zoom out, the longer the experience you will illustrate, and this with probably less details. The more you zoom in, the shorter the time span becomes of the experience you illustrate, but with more details. Often this is not an either-or decision. You have to constantly switch between different zoom levels. And finally, we have arrived at the focus characteristic. The focus characteristic looks at whether the journey map is product-centered or experience-centered. In order to clarify the difference between these two, I first have to explain the concept of touchpoints and moments of truth, also named MOTs. Touchpoints can be considered as all interactions between a customer and a company. These touchpoints can involve different channels, such as watching an advertisement on TV, reading more about a product online, chatting with a customer service, executing tasks in a mobile application, etc. Touchpoints can be direct, such as calling a hotline or retrieving information from a company website, or even indirect, such as reading reviews on a third-party website or hearing from the company's offering through other individuals by word of mouth. Moments of truth are steps that are decisive for a user, customer, or organization. These are steps that heavily impact the impression of a customer that the customer has regarding a brand, service, or physical or digital product. To give an MOT example from the financial sector, studies have shown that the mortgage loan is a key deciding factor for customers to change banks. Hence why you should always be shopping at different banks when you're looking to buy a house and trying to get a mortgage. Because you will be surprised about the deals that you can make when you let banks compete between each other. Banks know that this is a key moment to acquire a new and loyal customer. MOTs are even more important for insurance companies. Very often, the only moment that you really interact with an insurer is when you have a claim. So you will judge your insurer based on how they will handle that claim. Insurance companies know this very well and will try to do everything they can to offer the customers a smooth claim management process without any worries, preferably. Customer engagement is usually quite high at those moments, since something bad happened in general when the insurance companies need to step in, like a car accident, for instance. You want it to go smoothly at that specific moment. Now that we know what touchpoints and MOTs are, we can go a bit deeper into the concepts of product-centered and experience-centered journeys. A product-centered journey map is a journey map containing only touchpoints between the customer and the company. In a previous lecture, I referred to these touchpoints as direct interactions. In other words, product-centered customer journeys only include steps that represent an interaction between a customer with the company's service or products. These journey maps they tend to leave out all the steps outside the reach of the company. In some cases, product-centered journey maps are useful to visualize a specific and rather detailed experience, such as the onboarding experience to a piece of software, or to visualize a very high-level experience, such as a customer lifecycle map. But be careful. More often than not, these journeys are created by people who assume that customers only have the company on their mind, which is obviously not correct. So this might lead to flawed customer journey maps that have unaccounted experience gaps. Experience-focused journey maps reflect on the situational context and show how touchpoints are embedded in the overall experience. In many cases, using a service or product is not the main goal of the customer. You might have heard of the saying, people don't want to buy a quarter-inch drill, they want a quarter-inch hole. But in fact, people rarely want a hole in the wall either. They want a comfortable living room by hanging something on the wall. To achieve their goal, customers often need to do a series of activities, such as agreeing on the painting with their partner, buying the painting, drilling a hole in the wall, screwing in a hook, and finally hanging up the painting. Focusing only on the drill or the painting or the hook would miss the main point of why people use these items. An experience-centered journey map can lead to better insights about what people really want to achieve and not only how they interact with a company. This also changes the design challenges companies strive to solve. For example, instead of just asking, what is the mortgage simulation experience for a customer, which is a more product-centered question, we move more and more to questions like, what is the overall experience of people moving to a new home, which is a more experience-centered question. The key takeaway here is to create experience-centered customer journeys and not just product-centered customer journeys. And that's it, folks. In the next lecture, I will introduce the story mapping technique and explain why this is a very powerful tool to use in combination with customer journey mapping. Hope to see you there. Bye.